And I look at my table and I was like, you guys, you'll have to excuse her. I'll go tell her to keep it down.
So now we're all at Choctaw, 5 of us. We decided that we were gonna play all the tournaments, or most of the tournaments, and so we thought, why don't we just rent a house? So we got an Airbnb in Denison, Texas, which is not too far from Choctaw, and 5 of us are gonna be living together. And I was excited about this because I've done that only one other time in Vegas where I stayed with some people in a house, and it was nice that when you bust a tournament, you go back and be in a living space and maybe eat meals together and just talk and relax. So we rented this house in, it was a pretty small house.
So what was it like hanging out with the crew at the house? It was a lot of fun. No, I can't even like make anything up. I mean, it was a blast.
Question again.
Okay, the question is, how much money would it take you to never play another hand of poker again in your life?
All right.
What's the number?
Jay, what did you say?
I said $100.
What else did you say?
I told you guys are joking.
Said a parent.
No, it's not $240,000.
Right, yeah, we know it's not 229.
Do you have a number, Brett?
It's not 14,000.
It's not your body count. Yeah, that's not it. Look, it'd have to be in the millions for sure.
It would?
Yeah, I think it'd have to be in the millions.
Okay.
Because
That's
of the
interesting.
potential ROI. I think I'm gonna make over $1 million in poker. I'm already at 700,000. So
But
it'd have
this
to take
is
me
like
a couple million, 10 million maybe.
Gifted to you right here, right now.
Yeah. It'd have to be like.
Let's ask you.
So, I mean, because
How
you're
much
never gonna
money
play. You're never gonna
would
Let's
someone
ask
have
this
to give
gentleman.
you, and you would never play another hand of poker again in the rest of your life? How much money would it take?
Well, I thought you film him and not
Yeah.
betting, man. So, yeah, maybe $500,000.
Half a mil? That's a good number. That's a good number. But that's fine. You know, we're all good friends. We can spend time together.
You know, when you do a trip like that and you're all under the same roof, you learn so much about each other. You learn, for example, like who's the morning person, who's the late, you know, who sleeps in late, who wakes up early.
I'm the type of person that likes to get their sleep. These cats, on the other hand, just don't seem to need sleep. We'd get back to the house. I just want to decompress, get some quiet time, sleep. These guys want to talk hand histories.
And then you just talk a lot, and it wasn't really a ton of poker.
And it's really important and good to talk through hands with your friends who are poker players and get feedback. But when you've been playing poker all day, I find that it's better to kind of let that go, get away from it.
We kind of had an unwritten rule where we weren't gonna go over, you know, bad beats and you know, we definitely talked some strategy, but we didn't overdo it.
I walked out of the room, the bedroom one time in when we were up at Choctaw at the house, and there were 2 hand histories going on.
Right, and
I'm
that's
like,
the way you have
she has
to
like
do it.
8 big blinds. I'm like,
That's the way you have to do it, man.
You probably had
I was
another
in the
like
fucking-
75,000.
Especially when you have
Like
stats.
if he would have called,
I was
like he was.
fucking
I was
Right.
kind of like we're
When I
getting,
see-
you know, like
oh, I made
if
another
he
bumper
goes,
there,
I had him
King of
covered by
Diamonds.
a bunch.
But the problem was, Rob and Jay were sitting like this, having a hand history in this direction. Brett and Day were sitting this way, having a hand history. It was in crossfire, and I walked into the room, and I'm thinking, this is utter torture. If I have to listen to one more hand history.
He turns that jack into a bluff. It's like, no way he had a jack. 100% he had an ace. I was like, I have to bluff this. And I gotta make it big, you know? And I gotta represent the diamonds because I hate it.
Their lower part, the 9 and the 8 came on the flop.
And then later,
so they called my C-bet.
Queen 10 of diamonds.
And I
I raised, he called the
overpair.
same situation.
Two times
actually, he was
on the
button this
river,
time.
they
On
catch
the
their trick.
low jack.
They catch
And,
the 8 and the 9.
Comes jack, 7,
One time
8.
I paid it off,
We
one
have
time
two
I
diamonds,
didn't pay
queen
it
10 of
off.
diamonds. I'm like, what a
But
great
like-
board to check raise here.
It was rough.
But it was just really fun bonding, learning about everybody, and just kind of getting to know these people that I've been like talking to and chatting with for the last, year and a half. Just getting to know them at a deeper level. And by the time I left that house, I felt like I had 4 brothers. And it was really awesome.
We were having some strategy conversations throughout the week, and we talked through some things, and I gave my perspective, team gave their perspective, and I think like every day you try to implement certain things. But I think that there's a lot to be said when you go into a series and you just know, like, you have the support around you, and you're just not running well. And the first event took a really sick beat. Second event took a sick beat. Played a few flights of the Gargantuan. Got in a really, really disgusting spot. You like to think you have some edges against these fields, and overall, I think you do. For me personally, it really sucks. And you're trying to block out everything in your head. You're just trying to not think about what's going on outside of here, what's going on at home, how the kids doing, how's your wife doing, how is she holding up when you're not there, you think about all these things. And my wife is my rock, so she's my number one supporter, fan. She pushes me, and she tries to make sure I'm not hard on myself. But there's this portion of this that I do grind this out a lot to not just my personal goals, but to show my supporters that I can do this. Downswings, their downswings are real, and you have to play through them. I think every once in a while, it is good to take a break. If you're not taking a break, it's probably not good. Mentally, probably just need it.
I think people like me and Jay are sometimes misunderstood. We'll get comments about how we're grinding too hard, we're playing too much, we're putting too much volume in, we're gonna burn ourselves out. And what people don't understand is that we simply understand the price that this game demands for excellence. And make no mistake, we don't pay that price at the cost of our family, our loved ones, or our personal health. But we understand that we have to cut every distraction out of our life, every energy suck, every drain, so that we can be at peak performance and push through the difficult times that this game presents to us. Because of that, me and Jay have a very mutual appreciation for each other, because we both know what it's like to balance being a dad, being a poker player, being a husband, and doing all 3 of those things successfully.
Rob had a good run. I sat on his rail because I am a believer that we have to support each other. There's nothing better than being at an FT and you look up and you got 2 or 3 of some of your close team members or family, and that's sitting there supporting you.
And so it was just as fun and enjoyable to sweat him on his day one as it was to have him on my rail until 2:30 in the morning on my day one.
By first break, I was pretty close to chip leading this event. I just felt here we go. This is gonna be it. I'm gonna make a deep run. I'm gonna get to a place where I final table this, and then we'll revisit the strategy based on the dynamic of the table. and we bagged. I think we bagged like 18 bigs, something around that nature. Might have been like 16 bigs. I think we were jumping a level. I bagged like 160K, and I was teeter-tottering. And prior to this, I had not broken an 80K stack all week. Yeah, like thinking back, I didn't like get a one event. I don't think I ever broke 45K and a stack that was only like double starting. I didn't let my runs prior to this like affect how I was playing here. You know, like the cards coming my way was a huge help. I got max value in spots that I needed to. I just really understood my table. And then when we moved to new tables, I didn't put any chips in the middle until I actually understood the dynamic of my table. And then once I understood the dynamic of my table, then I started chipping up again.
Dude, so you had a rough start to the series.
We did.
And now, how you feeling?
6, 8, what day are we on?
It's fucking 7. It feels like 55.
This was the win or go home event. And we just
And naturally, Jay shows up under pressure. This is what happens.
Yep. Got under pressure, back against the wall. So now we bagged for day 2. There's 22 left. So
There's one left. There's just the other 21 don't know it yet.
yeah, they just have no clue. So, yeah, I feel good. My table, the 2 tougher spots are on my right, so it's a pretty good deal. We just grinded today. I should be well up over 200K, but I just kind of dried up towards the end before the bag. Never really found any good spots. Thanks for the information, though, because I was able to pound that guy.
Oh, good.
Tight.
Yeah.
There's some spots where like he just checks. I'm just floating behind him, and he just like checks the flop, and I just like fire with air because it's like these guys just leave it tight. But yeah, I feel good. We put 160K in the bag, which is fine. This is just around, just under average. So felt good. Not gonna lie. Like we had heaps early. I think probably by first break, I want to say we threw the chip lead. And then again, like we just hovered between like the 150 to 200K stack, which is fine. I mean, I just want to keep chips in front of me. And then tomorrow, we'll just put those spots. See how it goes.
So I had a little bit of worry leading up to coming here. I was very confident in my game. I felt very confident in my game versus the player pool at Choctaw. And I felt like I was going to have a successful trip. But in the back of my head, like right here, it was like WSOP was so tough and I bricked everything. I was 1 for 10 buy-ins at WSOP, that a little back of my head, it was, could keep happening. You can keep getting sucked out on, you can keep this downswing going. So I fired my first 4 bullets and busted in fields that I felt like I should have been crushing. Then I finally had a cash in the double stack, and that felt good. And then we lead to mystery bounty.
All right, so I got tempted and we're playing the mystery bounty today.
Yes, we are.
And Jay is gonna win a ring today because there's
Yes, he
22
is.
people left in this tournament. And then we're gonna get to day 2 and win, go heads up tomorrow. And then we'll just flip a coin for it.
Okay. Lots of bounties, though. Big bounty pull.
Yeah, after
Tomorrow.
we pull the big bounties, then we'll just flip
We
a
have to
coin
wait
for
till
the...
we're in the middle.
We'll flip a coin for the ring.
All right.
All right, so mystery bounty today. WSOP circuit.
Let's go.
I love mystery bounties. Craig hates mystery bounties. And the team didn't seem to like mystery bounties because even though Craig hates them, he was the only other one who played.
and she loves these things. Like I always said that she's probably the mystery, between her and Mika are probably like the bounty experts out of the group. Craig, like you have to offer that guy $1 million to play a bounty tournament because they're all gimmicks. And
Got to watch that, and I'm getting just destroyed in all these tournaments. So and the mystery bounty, I self-inflicted wounds. I exited that one on my own. All right, so I absolutely torched my chips in the mystery bounty. Came back from dinner break, played 2 hands, and we're out. So went from average stack to being out in 2 hands. 100% self-inflicted wounds.
I was not going to miss the mystery bounty because online I crush mystery bounties, and that degen in me loves pulling those bounties. Earlier this year, I had driven up to Tampa just so I could play a mystery bounty, a $400 mystery bounty, that I ended up bagging chip lead, and then I got 2 bounties and they were both mins, and I was really upset at the results of that mystery bounty. So I felt like, at one point I'm gonna have some redemption. I'm gonna pull some big bounties. In the tournament, I was down. We started with 30,000 in chips. After 2.5 hours of being card dead and spot dead and just not hitting anything, I was down to 9K at the 1K big blind level. So I had 9 bigs. And I was not confident that anything was going to happen, because with 9 bigs at that point, it's just kind of you just gotta cross your fingers and hope that your hand holds when you do shove. But I was able to spin from 9K. Within 30 minutes, I think I had about 150K. It was an amazing run. And I got to the money.
The later she got in that tournament, the more fun she was having. And when they got to the part where they started pulling bounties, oh my gosh, you talk about aggression, she poured it on. She was going after those bounties.
I was not the large stack anymore at my table. I had lost a bunch of chips. At this point, I had 220,000 chips, which was probably around average or a teeny bit under average. But the massive chip leader was to my right.
I had gotten to spend a lot of time with Dayanna in Las Vegas, and so I got a good sense of kind of how she navigates this process and how her emotions ebb and flow and how steady she stays. But this was the first time I saw Day like in, oh God, I don't know what we call it, maybe like winner's mode.
I knew that they were in the money, so now the mystery bounties are available. And I literally know that Day's just gonna go bananas right now. They're in the money. She's got a really good stack. I know she was chip leading, or she was like second in her chips. At one point she was chip leading her table, and then it's like second in chips. But her and another guy were pretty close in stacks. They took the right strategy, and there were some short stacks that wanted to bust early, and they wouldn't let them. They kept them around, let them hang on to some chips until they got in the money, and perfect strategy, right?
And an early position player jammed for 90K, and I think this must have been at the 10K big blind level. The chip leader flatted, and I looked down at pocket kings. And could I be in a better position right now? Of course I jam kings. It folds back around to the chip leader, who hems and haws and says, "This is my first time going for a bounty, and now I don't know what to do."
Oh, the fuck it call.
And early early position, the short stack had ace-5 of hearts. This guy here, my chip leader friend, had 8-9 of spades, and I had my kings, my red kings.
I mean, go over 2 bounties. I'm stuck for 100K.
Wow, that's huge, man.
Wow.
I got a live ace. And
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
You can live class.
Going for 2
good luck. I only had 9 big blinds.
Make it sweaty. Make it sweaty. 7, 8, 9.
And the flop gave this guy, the chip leader, a straight draw, because of course it did.
Ooh. 6, 8, 9.
5.
6, 8, 9, 10.
I got
6, 8, 9,
hearts.
10. 6, 8.
And then the turn gave the early position guy a flush draw. So I had to avoid what felt like 80% of the deck. It wasn't really, but it's what it felt like.
9, 10. You good? Oh my God.
So Day is playing the mystery bounty. I'm all the way at the other end of the ballroom, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, I hear this loud yell from across the room.
That's huge. That's huge.
Nice hand. Nice hand.
Somehow, I had a safe river, and I was very excited, and I may have yelled. I may have yelled a little bit.
And I look at my table, and I was like, "You guys, you'll have to excuse her. I'll go tell her to keep it down."
I was very, very excited. I got that second bounty, and at that point, I got a massive amount of chips. I had a 500,000 chips, and over 500,000 chips, and it was a very, very good feeling. And even though I had a couple of the guys on the rail, we had a couple of the teammates that had reg the 5 p.m., like a different tournament, I had just kind of run up and done my bounty pull by myself. And I had gotten one of the, more of like a min bounty. And I was like, this is wrong. I should have waited for the team. I should have waited. But I did make final 2 tables. I got a second bounty.
It's already a 10K. It's set in stone. It's a 10K.
1,500.
All right, let's go.
I'll take 1,500.
Oh, that works too.
All right, go knock someone else out so you can get the 10K.
Finally, not a min bounty. My first live mystery bounty, non-min bounty. I got a 1,500. I was very happy about that. And I got to final 2 tables and just went card dead. And just bled chips and didn't have any spots really, and then busted in 14th.
We get to day 2 and it really, I could actually see the win. I felt good, didn't care what my stack was. I chipped up and down. I think I peaked at like 190K, and then we got to the redraw. And we went to the redraw and got on break, came back from break. Then I looked at the table and I looked at the other table that was there, and you had some crushers at that table, and I was like, man, I got the perfect table draw. I literally could not have asked for a better draw. Now it's just a matter of like finding spots with these stacks and see if I can chip up. And we went completely card and spot dead, probably for about the first 2 hours after the redraw. And then we got down to 14 left, and I knew, like, I had 9 bigs, and I knew if I can just find a good double, I put myself in a good final table stack. So under the gun opens, who had been a little more active, then I'm immediately on his left. I look down at ace, queen of hearts, and it's like, this is the spot. We're just gonna take this spot here. In the small blind tanks and calls. Oddly enough, he turns over his hand before under the gun can even make a decision. And we see the bad news. Small blind woke up with aces there. And like in that moment here, just like all of this to get into this spot is just so gross. Because now when you see the ring in front of you, you see the win in front of you. One of your goals, you can check the box. It just like vanishes pretty fast. The initial pain of that spot was already ran through me when I saw what the guy had when he turned over, which you kind of know what he has when we jam here and he just re-jams out of the small blind. You already know what you're up against. Best case scenario was just turn over jacks. And I think, again, like as painful as it is, you just have to absorb it, soak it in. You know, I didn't think about like, what could I have done differently in that spot? There were like a few strategy things we talked about, but I think like, I just wanted to put myself in contention to win this thing, and I felt really, really good.
Next week on Chase the Dream.
You know? So he kind of opened his arms and I gave him this big hug, and I immediately start just crying on his shoulder.
But all of them voices, we got them. Lie to me, Hillary Rodham. I just came back from my kid in the bottom, and now I'm gonna bring it back all the way on them. Yeah. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. You better believe they're looking for me. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. They're looking for me. Yeah. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. You better believe they're looking for me. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. Looking for me. Yeah, I gotta go, and this I go. I'm dying a legend, that's just so you know. Yeah, I'ma go get it. We just keep pushing the limit. I am like all the way with it.